I'm picking the Chicago Bears to win the NFC North this year, and I'm also picking this team to finish with the best record in the NFC this year. The Chicago Bears hiring Ben Johnson changes everything. And what is getting overlooked about the Chicago Bears is how good this team is from a roster standpoint. This was already a near playoff team last year with the talent they had on defense and the weapons that they had around Caleb Williams with DJ Moore, Roma Dunze. But what did this team in, other than the offensive line not being good, was how atrocious Matt Eberflus coaching was. With Ben Johnson being the best offensive mind since Sean McVay to get a head coaching job, the Chicago Bears have instantly made themselves a Super Bowl contender and the prime candidate to go from worst to first in the division. It's so ironic to me how the Bears are just cursed and they'll never be anything because history tells us that the Bears always suck. Meanwhile, everybody is singing the New England Patriots praises, making it seem as if they're a lock to make it to the playoffs because they hired Mike Vrabel. Every season, there's a team that nobody expects to be good with a new head coach that surprises everybody. Last year, we saw the Commanders make it to the NFC Championship with Dan Quinn, and they've been awful since the beginning of my existence. And yet they found the right head coach, they had the right quarterback, and all of a sudden the Commanders were one game shy of making it to the Super Bowl. Why can't the Chicago Bears be this year what the Commanders were last season? They have the recipe and all the ingredients in the kitchen. Now they just need Ben Johnson to be the chef to put it all together. You give him a guy in Caleb Williams that was labeled as not just a generational quarterback, but the second coming of Patrick Mahomes, to one of the most innovative offensive minds that the league has seen in a while. How is anybody going to be able to stop the Chicago Bears from being the best team in the NFC this year with everything that Ben Johnson is inheriting? This is a team that is already equipped to compete for a Super Bowl. Ben Johnson, when he first got to Chicago, the first thing that he did was say, hey, we need to get that brother Caleb Williams some big boys up front. We need to get him some presidential security to make sure that we can keep him upright. And what did they do? They get Joe Thuney. They signed Drew Dalman in free agency. This is not the same Bears team that we saw get Caleb Williams obliterated all throughout last season. This is a way better team than what the Bears were in 2024. They're going to be better coached. They're going to be better on the offensive line. And they're going to get MVP level quarterback play out of Caleb Williams this year. When Sean McVay first got to the Rams, Jared Goff looked like one of the worst first overall picks ever. He looked worse than Jamarcus Russell during his rookie season. But Sean McVay comes in, and all of a sudden, he had Jared Goff playing at an MVP level. Ben Johnson can do the same thing with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams didn't have a garbage rookie season. He actually had a pretty good rookie season considering the situation that he was put in. There's a reason why Caleb Williams didn't want to go to the Chicago Bears, and he was right about everything. He didn't believe in Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron got fired. He didn't believe in Matt Eberflus. However you pronounce his name, Matt Eberflus got fired right after Thanksgiving. And it was the best early Christmas present that the Bears could have given Caleb Williams, because the situation that costed him to lose a year of his rookie season and hinder his development was the exact same one that he feared going to. There's a reason why he wanted to play for the Minnesota Vikings and Kevin O'Connell. And look what Kevin O'Connell did last year with Sam Darnold. Ben Johnson is coming in here with a quarterback that has all the talent in the world to easily become the best at his position in a conference that doesn't really have a lot of quarterbacks that rival his physical abilities. If Ben Johnson is able to come into Chicago and get Caleb Williams living up to his potential, he easily will have the best quarterback in the NFC. Unlike the AFC, the NFC doesn't have a bunch of quarterbacks that are aliens. Caleb Williams could become an alien now that he's in the hands of a head coach that actually knows how to morph him into one. The Bears' offense was god-awful at everything last year. They couldn't run the football. They were second to last in passing yards per game. They were dead last in yards per game, and they only put up 18 points per contest. That's a losing recipe. What was Caleb Williams supposed to do when he had to overcome not just a bad offensive line, but overcome horrendous coaching? The Bears now, with Ben Johnson, are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NFC North. Dan Campbell doesn't want to see Ben Johnson twice in the season because he knows what this brother is capable of. A large reason for the Lions' success these last couple of years, why they've been a Super Bowl contender, is because of the genius of Ben Johnson's offensive play calling. The dude is throwing laterals to his right tackle. Are you kidding me? And it's working. The dude is coming up with fake fumble snaps, all kinds of crazy, wacky play calls. And it's just completely toying with the rest of the league. So if this dude is doing all kinds of whack-a-mole stuff in Detroit, can you imagine what he's about to cook up with a guy in Caleb Williams that not only has a dynamic arm, but also is a really great athlete? We look at how good Jaden Daniels was last season. Think about how good Caleb Williams could be this season. There's a reason why he went number one over Jaden Daniels. And hindsight is 2020. If we were to go back to the draft and we didn't know how Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels were going to pan out in their rookie season, let's stop acting like the majority of us wouldn't have taken Caleb Williams. And I know a small majority of you guys are different from the rest. You're going to say, oh, well, I was higher on Jaden Daniels the whole time. Well, cool, Jose. Hats off to you. But the majority of everybody on the planet would have taken Caleb Williams number one overall over Jaden Daniels. The difference between the two is that one received good coaching and the other received some of the worst coaching in the NFL. Just because you're a talented quarterback doesn't mean you can overcome a crappy situation. The Bears for years have been known as the graveyard for young quarterbacks' careers. They wanted to get rid of Justin Fields, funny enough, because they felt he was holding the team back just to hold back Caleb Williams and suffer the same fate. They thought that Justin Fields was the reason why they couldn't lose close games. Well, you see how they lost to the Washington Commanders, right? With Ben Johnson now being the right coach that the Bears have been searching for these last couple of years, he's going to change everything for this franchise. He's not only going to make the Bears the best team in the NFC North, but he's also going to make this the best team in the NFC and the prime Super Bowl contender this year, with Caleb Williams getting elite coaching and elite play calling and a better system that's going to be tailored around his generational talent. He easily is going to be an MVP candidate this year. And we know that the Bears defense is loaded. Let's not act like you forgot about Jalen Johnson, one of the top 5 corners in the game. Let's stop acting like Jaquan Brisker ain't a dog. Let's not act like we forgot about Kyler Gordon, Montez Sweat. They signed Grady Jarrett in free agency. And also, they have Dennis Allen calling their defense. The brother is a terrible head coach, but he is an incredible defensive coordinator. Ben Johnson and the Bears are about to torture the NFL this season.